All right, man, let's talk about Detroit Lions season wrap up. I came here with no written agenda. All of this is improv. I will do a live version at some point of this, so you guys can ask anything I miss. Y'all can ask questions. I know a lot of people were saying it was a season a success or a failure. It was a failure. I didn't set the goals for this season. They set the goals for this season. They said that they wanted to be a Super Bowl. The Super Bowl was the goal. Terrion got there and said, "Them boys trying to win a Super Bowl," and they didn't come close. And being 15-2, you'll think they were close. They were further than last year. They won 2 playoff games last year, fumble one at the end, and fumble one this year. But the number one thing they had issues with this year was durability. Brad Holmes has now have to put a premium on durability. That just has to be a premium when he's drafting guys. Are they durable or not? It's as simple as that. Enough of feeling sorry because you almost died in a car accident and it ended your career. Enough of that shit. There has to be a premium on durability for Detroit Lions players because that's where it's hurting us at. You took a chance on Marcus Davenport. He was good for a day and a half, injured. You can go down the list. Aleem McNeil got injured. You got to understand, when one guy get injured, it becomes contagious. Marcus Davenport, Aleem McNeil, Aiden Hutchinson, Rodrigo, Derek Barnes, Carlton Davis. That's 6 players. F.A. Melifano came into the season injured. That hurt. You know what I'm saying? Then, you had, Terrion was in and out the lineup. Your draft pick in his Rackstraw, he basically redshirted this year. That's why it's a conversation whether you should or shouldn't keep Carlton Davis. Had Ennis Rackstraw came in and actually was able to contribute and was healthy, guess what happens? Either Rackstraw takes over at nickel and Amik slides outside, or Amik stays at nickel for one more season and Rackstraw and Terrion are your starting corners. Now, either you go out there and say, you know what, we just gonna, roll with Rackstraw and Amik and Terrion. And if Rackstraw isn't ready, guess what? We can put Amik at outside corner and put BB down there at the nickel. So that, I believe that was the plan after they got all those guys. And now you got a question to be had. Durability has to be at a premium. Carlton Davis wasn't really healthy his entire career. He's gonna miss a few games, and that he did. He missed some critical parts of this moment with a broken jaw and a hurt finger. Davenport has never been healthy. Very talented guy. I understand the Vikings playing a lot of his salary, but durability has to be at the top. And some guys that he rolled the dice on remain durable this year. Josh missed a couple games, and that's gonna happen. Pascal Anzarike missed a couple games, but at the end of the day, when you needed to have it and you needed them to be there and really be the staple of that defense, Reader, Anzarike, and Aleem McNeil, not Aleem McNeil, Anzarike, Reader, and Pascal, they were there. They were solid as cement blocks. 2 guys, your first 2 second-round draft picks in back-to-back drafts, Anzarike and Pascal, you bring them back, you get them here, and they historically has been injury prone, and they were durable. But honestly, going into this offseason, durability has to be a premium. If a guy ain't durable, if a guy beat up, or no more taking chances on not players that's not durable, I think that's the only knock on Brad Holmes. Does he take some picks and stash them? Like, some of these players, some of these NBA teams that take these European team players and stash them and then develop them, and then that's fine. I'm fine with that. Every draft pick doesn't have to be an immediate impact. But durability has to be a premium. And then, like I said before, and then you continue to look at the season, and that was the issue. He did his job. Defensively, if they were majority healthy, they would have easily won the NFC North, and I think they would have won the Super Bowl. So a lot of people think is if they just get healthy, they'll be good next year. But you constantly has to improve, and I think Zeifert after Mahogany was rated the highest rated offensive lineman this game. I think Zeifert was injured, and then he was really highly rated. He started for Zeifert earlier this season, a few weeks ago. I think you roll with Mahogany, but I also think they have a huge decision to make on the offensive line. It's time to move on from Taylor Decker. I think Taylor Decker, this may sound silly willy-nilly. Taylor Decker's holding the run game back. He's old, he's stiff. I think it's time to flip Sewell to the left side. Or I think it's time to go get a left tackle, an athletic left tackle that you can trust and believe in. I think it's time for that to happen. Mahogany is now the future at left guard. He is the now. And I think you got to go over there, either flip Sewell to the left or get an athletic left tackle so you can run right or left. And I think you're going to see that offensive line really improve once they solidify that left tackle spot with somebody more athletic, younger, and spry. Now, because they go in free agency and say, well, we get left tackle. Guess what? Free agent left tackles is like franchise quarterbacks. You rarely catch them on the free agent market. So you're going to have to go draft one and trade for one. But Decker, I have seen enough. I think he need to retire. He's stiff. He beat up. You know what I'm saying? I would bring Dan Skipper back. I like the versatility with Dan Skipper, but honestly, it's time to move on from Taylor Decker. I think that's a priority. I think so. Priority one is durability. And I think priority number two is, getting a new left tackle. And that's flipping Sewell or whatever. Obviously, people are going to talk about the coordinators. I'll talk about what Dan Campbell said another day. I'm not going to get into that. I'm talking about roster priority. Other than that, people say another pass rusher. I mean, obviously, you would love to deal for one. You would love to get a Max Crosby. You love to get a Myles Garrett. You'll love to get another true pass rusher. But realistically, I think if they're going to stick with Jared Goff, they got to soup that offense up. It might sound crazy. I don't trust them. I think you got to go do something major offensively. If you're going to stick with him, I think you got to do something major offensively. I think whether that's sticking with quarterback or if you stick with that quarterback, I think if it's rather sticking with him if you're going to stick with him at quarterback, going to get a Tyreek Hill to put that offense over the hump. That's my opinion on it. I think if you're going to stick with Jared Goff, I think if you got an opportunity to get a guy like Tyreek Hill, I think you go get a guy like Tyreek Hill and you put that offense over the hump, even if it's short term. Even if it's short term, you have to continue to help out Jared Goff. And I hear people saying, well, he may complain about getting the ball. That's not an issue. Him and Jameson Williams, they get the most out of their plays, out of the opportunities. 4 catches, you probably get 4 catches, 120 yards, a touchdown out of Tyreek. He's happy. And I just don't know if Jameson Williams is dependable enough right now. But Jameson, Tyreek, and St. Brown, and you probably bring back Tim Patrick to be a big target. You find you a left tackle guy that you like at left tackle. And I think that's how you do it. You need something that's going to put that offense over the hump. And I know they got a lot of weapons and they're explosive, Laporta. But with Jared Goff being so limited athletically and so limited in other areas and being strong in the pocket and not having the greatest arm in the world, I mean, Tyreek would love to play with Goff. And he's played with a guy like Goff with Tua Tagovailoa. Tua is obviously more athletic, but Goff got a better arm, but they both throw a very catchable ball. So if I'm the Lions offensively, I'm looking to put this offense where there's really no weak spots for Goff. I go out there, I call Miami, what I need to do to get Tyreek. And we make a deal for Tyreek. And then, I'm looking at the draft. I'm looking at other pieces that I can trade to get a pass rusher. I don't know what the draft look like. I mean, we can pull it up. I don't really care about the national championship tonight because, the playoff format is trash. It just takes the suspense out of it. So when you're looking at this board, which I ain't looked at it all year, and it's definitely going to shake up and change. So down where the Lions be picking up, you got Mike Green out of Marshall. You got Cameron Williams, tackle Texas. I don't know much about these guys. So I think they need explosion. I feel like they need explosion. I mean, Mason Graham will be a hella get, but they need explosion. They need an explosive Tyreek Hill type guy. Getting that kid out of LSU last year, Brian Thomas would have been huge for them. But they need more explosion. They need to make the offense where they can't fail. And defensively, I mean, defensively, should corner be a priority? I don't know. It depends what Carlton Davis get on the market. But if you need to get a corner, get a corner. Get a corner. I don't mind Vitor being the fourth or fifth guy there. Um, but if it's gonna be Terrion, Rackstraw, Meek, Vitor, I think another starting caliber corner. I don't know who would that be. Would it be Carlton? Would you get a free agent? Would you draft a guy? But I think drafting a guy is like, unless you really, really like a guy, I think that's off the table with Rackstraw and Terrion. So, I don't know who the free agents to be at corner. Let me see. So let's see if we can pull that up. But really, this team don't have a lot of weakness. You just want to continue. You want to continue to build. In my opinion, you want to continue to build. You want to continue to build depth. That's one thing they got to do. They got to continue to build depth. But it's not too many weaknesses on this roster other than the ones I named. So, Shadarius Ward, I mean, he older. DJ Reader, he'd be an interesting guy. He the guy out of entertain. But like I said before, it's what you really believe in. How much do you believe in this Rackstraw? And outside of that, just some older guys there. So, quite honestly, if you had some of these guys who do become available, it's either Byron Murphy, just off name, DJ Reader for me. Shadarius Ward, I believe he lost his child. And he wanted to get out of San Francisco because of the bad memories. So it's one of those three guys. But honestly, I wouldn't be opposed to bringing Carlton Davis back for the same price. But defensively, your real weakness is finding an additional pass rusher. And if you want to see the pass rushers, let's see if we can find one. Khalil Mack, he's older, but honestly, maybe you can get him on a short-term deal. I think that's about it. Josh Sweat is pretty good from there. Hell no, the market. So if I'm looking just off a name, DeMarcus Lawrence, he older though, but I would consider. Well, you already got Zadarius Smith. So out of these guys, I would consider Khalil Mack, Hassan Reddick, Josh Sweat as the three guys I would really, really look at first. And I'm not sure what type of year Khalil Mack had this year. This would be interesting to see. But I think him and Zadarius Smith can hold it down. So he has 6 sacks this year, but I still would bring him in as an older guy, him and Zadarius Smith, and I'll still bring him in. But I think pass rusher, cornerback, I really think the priority is pass rusher, but cornerback and left tackle. That's the priority, I think, the big needs, and then depth. But his number, Brad Holmes, listen to me, my boy. Number one thing to do going into this offseason, when you go, you a villain, and we want tough line, durability, fool. Durability. If they ain't durable, we don't want them. Durability. We need guys that are historically durable. So when you drafting guys, no more drafting broken Lego pieces. When you drafting these guys, we need to be drafting guys that are durable. So let's get that there. Durability is the best ability. But I don't think this roster is far off. But I also, just to go over what I said, the priority is, I think, more on the offensive side. I know people are gonna call me crazy. Left tackle, you have to get a better left tackle. Two, you got to make this offense golf proof. You got to get him another weapon. Keep Patrick for the big body, unless you can find somebody else. Go get Tyreek Hill. And I know a lot of people don't like that. Go get Tyreek. It'll be short term. He doesn't need to be fed the ball like a Michael Thomas or a not Marvin Harrison, but a Michael Irvin. He's going to get the most out of his opportunities here. I think that's the priority. Even if you switch Sewell from right to left, go get a solid right tackle prospect. Get a right tackle, So defensively, yeah, you need a pass rusher. Cool. You can go older guy because him and Zadarius could just split the reps. You still got Josh Pascal. I bring back Anzarike. Aiden Hudson, you hopefully come back. Them older guys, let's say you go get Khalil Mack and Zadir, they can hold it down to Aiden Hudson 100%. But it wouldn't stop me from drafting a younger guy. But this is a spot where you can get an older guy. A DeMarcus Lawrence, a Khalil Mack, and you can draft a younger guy behind them. But cornerback, I mean, that's a mystery, to be honest. It's a priority, but it's not really a priority because you got three really good ones. Amik, Rackstraw, you hope be good, and Terrion Grove. But as a fail-safe, I probably keep Carlton Davis. If not, Shadarius Ward, or what was the other guy's name? Shadarius Ward, Byron Murphy, or Carlton Davis be three. But if not, if I draft one, good luck with that. So you had three young guys there, but I think Rockstraw, he get better and better. He was doing some picks in there, but the Lions are not far off. My thing is you have to make it foolproof for Jared Goff. He need everything to be perfect to be successful. So get Tyreek, fix that left tackle position, and don't worry about nothing else. So and defensively, you can go older pass rusher, draft a developmental guy or a younger guy somewhere and solidify that. And then at corner, I mean, that's the bigger thing, but durability should be the thing. But hey, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. I've considered this year a failure for them not reaching their goal of winning a Super Bowl, but overall, it was a good year. I think they're ahead of schedule. They trended in the right direction. But me personally, I would make a change at quarterback. I would rather take a few steps back and get it right. I would change the quarterback, but I've never been pro Goff. I gave credit was due. But if you're going to keep Goff, which Dan Campbell said they would when talking about the new offensive coordinator, go make this offense platinum, diamond. Go get Tyreek Hill and solidify that. Get Decker the fuck up out of here. Solidify that left tackle spot. So thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist. Hit the link tree. Find me on X, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Everything is in the link tree or on the bottom of the screen. Peace.